Service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless. Call them at 935-2100. That's 935-2100 for MR Systems Wireless.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio this morning, Taylor Baxter, city manager for the city of Farmer City. Good morning, Taylor. How are you?
False fall. I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it.
We had this conversation in the hall, so you're not buying, huh?
No. I love it, but no, I'm not buying into it.
Do you get into like the long-term outlooks and do you follow those things?
The old Farmer's Almanac.
The Farmer's Almanac. I usually go to the Climate Prediction Center myself, but yeah. Do you follow that? Do you get
a little?
Yeah. I'll look 2-3 weeks out. I'm starting to follow what Apple and Pork Weekend is going to look like.
Yep.
So get into it a little bit that way, but.
Yeah, I mean, how about we do this? Let's just enjoy it. It's nice now. I hope the warmer weather. I don't know, because I get so weird. Because in the spring, I can't wait for it to be warm, and then I'm like, all right, I'm over it. Now I can't wait for it to be fall. Dang it, it's winter. I can't wait for it to be spring. Let's just enjoy it now. I guess
you're just never settled.
No,
never settled.
No, I try to be.
Well, anyways, let's dive into Farmer City, Taylor. Some city council business. Since you and I caught up last, what's the latest? What's been going on with the city?
Yeah, we've had a couple of meetings. Not a whole lot of, drama-filled proposals or items that need to be passed. So I guess that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Pretty regular items on the agenda, pretty light. We've kind of talked about that in the past is, how long are our meetings actually going? And they've been pretty short. We had an executive session last meeting. Obviously can't get into that, but good conversations were had there. So the last meeting, we had representatives from Heritage Days. They came over and asked for some additional funding to help them. Mm-hmm. And the council, we listened to what they were saying, and we felt like, this is a good cause for the community. It's a great event. Brings a lot of people into Farmer City, and we were excited to support that. So that was a good thing.
Yeah.
Another thing from the last meeting, something unique that the city of Farmer City is entered into this agreement with the Raceway Association is stencil ponds. So for those that don't know, we entered into this agreement, I think it was about 10 years ago, was when the lease agreement first came about, and there's a pretty big water leak that happened out at the raceway. Mm-hmm. And the city manager at the time, and then the fair association, the raceway, they got together and, okay, how can we eliminate this bill without having to actually come up with all of these funds? So they kind of worked out an agreement, and they opened up stencil ponds to the public because that was part of the raceway and it was closed to the public. Mm-hmm. So it's a great community asset. Our council sees that, the raceway sees that. So we're kind of in negotiations right now, trying to figure out what that'll look like to continue that moving forward.
Now, is that a retention pond? Is that what that is?
Well, so yes and no. So there's two ponds that are always there, but they use that for the actual watering of the track.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah. So there's fish in there. People go fishing out there.
Wow.
I've heard in the past 4-H groups have gone out there and camped, and there's walking trails around. It's a really neat area. And again, it's a community asset. So we want to try to continue that, and we're working with them on that. So negotiations are going well. So we'll see what happens.
Sure. Very good. So when it comes to that agreement, you said try not to tear it all down, but kind of maybe keep the framework in place. Is that kind of the idea? Yeah. So ever since the beginning agreement, the city has provided the liability insurance and then also covered all the maintenance, every mowing, tree trimming, and that sort of thing. The city took that on. It doesn't cost us a whole lot per year, but we just added into our liability insurance with all of our other parks, and it works out pretty good for the city. So it's not too bad. Gotcha.
Yeah, if you're going to do it as its own entity and not being a municipality, I think there's a lot more money involved as far as liability insurance compared to what we get a deal on. So it's pretty good.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. One of the things, Taylor, and I don't think we talked about getting into this before we started, but I know Ben saw you at the Constellation Meta Agreement announcement. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was fun. I was glad to be invited to that. That was a pretty unique ceremony. It was cool. Mayor Helen did a great job, and our mayor Scott Testery was there, and they got introduced and announced, and really a unique thing for the community because the Constellation plant has a Clinton address, but it really affects all of DeWitt County. Just the economic impact of people coming in. Obviously with people working. And spending time and money and people going out to the lake, Farmer City is going to be impacted positively by that too. So just, the investment of the neighboring community we're close to Constellation, just like Clinton is. And, so all of the economic impacts we hope are going to stretch to Farmer City just with the investment. Obviously they're pledging money specifically towards Clinton things. So totally get that. But we hope to be a recipient of some of those things in the future too. And, let's say housing comes up, Farmer City, we're built, we're ready to go for housing. So all of those things where we hope, the Constellation Clean Energy Center is going to expand. We hope that'll stretch out to Farmer City too.
Sure. Speaking of housing, that's really been a big conversation with Kurt Holman at the DCDC lately. I don't know how much you get into, whether it's DCDC business or have those conversations with him, but how about housing?
Yeah, Kurt and I talk a lot. And he wears a lot of hats. That guy's got a lot of hats going on. Yeah. But because he's the president of the raceway, so I've been talking with him on Stencil Ponds. Oh. And then our next conversation will be DCDC stuff. Yeah. And so he
lives in Farmer City. So,
correct.
Yeah.
So and he's working on the grocery co-op, and so there's a lot of things that Kurt and I really work together a lot on, and one of those is housing. So you're right. So I know he's been active, and there's been developers interested in Clinton and Farmer City, so we're excited to hear that. And again, I want to reiterate, we're ready for growth. We've got good things coming along I-74, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit later. And we're going through a whole marketing and branding plan that I'm proposing to council here coming up. So we want to build on this momentum that we're going to have with I-74, and housing is definitely part of that.
A branding plan. Yeah. Are you at liberty to speak to what's not necessarily the ins and outs, but
well, and similar to Clinton, and I've talked about this before, Farmer City is close to Bloomington, Champaign, but we're just far enough out where we're not Leroy or Mahomet. Like we're just outside that little corridor of those major cities. So how do we get creative in showing people what Farmer City has to offer? And it's a good place to live, to work. There's access to the interstates, and there's just so many good things. As a recreational hub, Farmer City has a lot of really good things to offer. So we need to get that out to people, and that's updated with messaging, with marketing, with all sorts of things that are going to go into that, where a professional company would probably help us with that. I mean, I have good ideas, but they're not always the best. So
I find that hard to believe, man.
I know. And I think I'm decent at a lot of things, but if you want it, because it's a significant project because you can do different campaigns for, okay, we're going to try to have a marketing campaign for residential, for opening up a business, for your day trips, whether you're coming to Clinton Lake or the Raceway, golf, all of those different things. They all have different messages and different mediums that you need to use to get a hold of people.
For sure.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So is that in line with strategic planning? Or is it totally separate?
A little bit. It fits into that. Strategic planning is, what are some of your strategies in order to reach goals? Whereas the marketing plan is going to be specifically to, okay, how do we reach new people? How do we entice them to come here? And then the strategic plan of the overall city is, okay, we got them here. How do we expand services? What's our growth look like? That sort of thing. So they're tied together.
Yeah.
For sure.
You don't want them just here for one thing. You want them here for 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And am I remembering right? Farmer City is going through strategic planning. You finished strategic planning?
We've talked about it.
Okay.
I know there's an older version. You try to update it every 5 years.
Right.
There's just so many things that happen in those 5 years.
Right.
So no, we haven't. I think I talked about it one time, like, hey, that's a goal of ours. We want to update that.
I see.
So
Gotcha.
we just haven't gotten there yet. But
Sure.
I'm sure
Well,
we will.
And when it comes to, the promotion of the city, I mean, obviously there's so many ways to do that anymore. I mean, Facebook is probably the one people think of, but there's billboards, there's geo marketing, there's all these ways to reach people. You know what I mean? So
had a really good meeting with a representative from WCIA, and they have a whole market, like exactly what you're talking about. It's the geo fencing where we could put a geo fence around Lake Shelbyville, and hey, come up to Farmer City in Clinton. Or at a U of I game, we put it around the tailgate area.
Yeah.
There's all those different avenues that are way over my head.
It's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool what you can do, though.
it's a little scary.
It is, but it's cool.
And if you use it for good, it's good.
If you harness it for good. Yep, absolutely.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is these phone companies, without us even knowing it, you read those long terms and agreements, you scroll to the bottom, whatever, whatever, don't steal my stuff in China. That's fine.
Yeah.
You hit agree, you don't even know what's going on there. You're agreeing to those phone companies collecting that data. You're basically buying that information from the phone companies, and you can't get people's names and addresses and all that stuff. There's certain limitations, obviously, but it's pretty unique. So it's good stuff.
It is. And I know Kurt has talked about kind of harnessing a lot of that data that's collected, and using it in DeWitt County. So
it's good
for purposes. Well, very good, Taylor. I'll tell you what, how do folks, speaking of Farmer City, how do folks keep up with everything going on in your community?
Website, cityoffarmercity.org. And then we have our Facebook page, City of Farmer City. Those are our two main ways for sure.
Very good. Taylor Baxter, City Manager for the City of Farmer City, our guest in studio this morning. More to come with him on the morning show.
WHOW.
Baum Chevrolet Buick offers full transportation options while giving you peace of mind. This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. This is what we do every day. We listen to you, give you options for routine maintenance, major mechanical problems, or collision repairs with a staff that's knowledgeable to find the best option for you. Baum Chevrolet Buick, your full service dealer. See us at BaumChevyBuick.com right from the start.
AgriTalk is the radio talk show for American agriculture. Hi, everybody. I'm Chip Flory, your host. We join you weekday mornings from 10 until 11 on WHOW, on AM and FM, and on the WHOW streams. We provide farmers and ranchers with timely insights and information aimed at improving their operations. Join me, Chip Flory, weekdays at 10:06 on Central Illinois Ag Station, WHOW.
This is the voice of the Eastern Illinois University Panthers, Mike Brad, inviting all of our fans from Peoria to the Indiana state line to listen for Panther football again this fall on WHOW's many platforms on AM, FM, and streamed online. EIU Panther football is part of WHOW's great weekend sports programming schedule, including a Best of Clinton Maroon sports broadcast and CBS Sports Radio. We'll bring you every Panther game start to finish right here on Central Illinois' news, agriculture, and sports station, WHOW.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest in studio again is Taylor Baxter, City Manager for the City of Farmer City. And Taylor, you mentioned the development off 74. What's some of the latest going on there?
Yeah, good news there. We have a approval from the EPA for our sanitary sewer lift station to begin work on that. So that's great. We still have review happening at the EPA level for our water extension, so our water line. But getting approval on one of two is very big. So we're excited that's moving forward still. So yeah, really good news there.
Now, what's the plan out there?
Yeah, so the goal was there was a time the city owns 10 acres and there's a development company called Tabling Development out of Mahomet. They also have 10 acres. The original plan was kind of doing a mixed use where you have kind of higher end apartments and then a light commercial type facility going out there. We got word at one time that there's a developer interested in all 20 acres, kind of like doing this mega site. It would be the 10 acres of Farmer City, 10 acres of Tabling Development. Yeah. Awesome. Let's look at that first. Yeah. That ended up not working out because there was a facility too close to Bloomington Normal that with their franchisee agreements, they were too close. They couldn't do that. They kind of backed out. Good news is Tabling Development's still moving forward with the original concept of 16 apartments and then a light commercial there. So I think it's really going to be something good. So
what's light commercial?
So you kind of see like in Clinton, you got the Jimmy John's, Monocle's, like kind of combo into a building where there's like 3 or 4 of them, that sort of thing. So it's not going to be a standalone store.
Maybe like a truck stop in a restaurant or something like
could
that.
Could be. Yeah. Just not a mega 20 acre,
not a Wally's,
correct.
Not a Buc-ee's.
I do have a soft spot for Wally's. People don't know that I'm from Pontiac, so Wally's got a special place in my heart.
What do you like at Wally's? Like they have really good food. What do you like there?
Brisket.
The brisket
right in front of you. The whole wall of jerky.
Yeah.
You could legit.
That
you could do
treat
your
stand. Oh my gosh.
The popcorn. I swear they funneled the smell like through the vents right into the front door because when you walk in, you're like, oh.
Somehow they got to get it on the highway.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
And you could do I tell people you could go there and do your Christmas shopping and you'd be perfectly fine. You can get everything you need. They have shave kits. I mean, we're getting sidetracked, but you got to go to Wally's in Pontiac. It's awesome.
I was just going to say Taylor's plugging Pontiac all of a sudden.
I know the owners pretty well. They'll Venmo me $20.
That's funny. That's great. So when it comes to development off of the highway, where are we at in step starting finished product? Are we pretty early on?
Yes and no. Yes, it was more of a concept. Hey, we like this idea. Let's move forward. Let's have those conversations.
Yeah.
Things are going through the state, which are just slow. That's the hard part. They got 60-day review time minimum on some things. Then, the other day I got notification from Tabling Development that the Illinois State Historical Archaeological Department, I don't even know what department it was. Basically, there's a tributary off of Salt Creek, and it might have some archaeological findings underneath, so they got to do some additional testing. And
oh my gosh,
so it's all this random stuff that you don't necessarily think about in the beginning, but okay, we got to go through the process.
Buried in bureaucracy,
unfortunately. On certain things. So that part kind of sucks. You wish it could go faster, but it's good to make sure that those things are happening. And so it's moving forward. Regardless, it's moving forward. Things are getting approved. Then you got to go out to bid.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got another 90 days for people to put their bid in. Then, then we're already at winter. Then you're not building. So then you got to wait till spring. And so it's all of this weird timing and stuff. So we're moving forward. It's still good.
Well, in our final moments, let's dive into kind of September fall time in Farmer City. I know you've got the haunted hayrack rides. Those are very popular, and some news out of that.
Yeah. I'm excited to be able to see this in action. The haunted forest. So that's over.
Forest, thank you.
Yeah, no, you're good. It's over in South Park. and they actually came to our last meeting. Rachel Cox, she's one of the representatives on that board, and asked for some funding. There were some insurance requirements that changed this year, being their own independent agency. So we're helping them out with some of those things, try to recoup some of their costs. And it's another great thing, similar to Heritage Days. It's a great event for the community. People come in from a lot of different areas, and so we want to be able to help them out. So cool.
Yep, that'll bring in a lot of folks. Obviously one of those things you can market about Farmer City.
It's pretty unique.
Yeah. Anything else coming up September, October-ish in Farmer City?
So hoping to get, it's boring. It's not like a haunted forest or something, but the Washington Street sewer lining and water main replacement.
Okay.
We've had Visu Sewer come, and they were the awarded contractor for the sewer lining. They've done some evaluating, so we'll see how that goes. And then our bids for the water main replacement are due September 10th. So that'll go to the council at the next meeting. So,
do you have any summer projects you took on this year, and how did those go?
Linden Court. There's a stretch of street there. We did some repaving. It's really been, the pool was a project. I think that can be considered a project.
Yeah. Ongoing project. It sounds like.
Yeah. So we on that. We ended up closing it on Sunday. That's kind of the standard break when people go back to school and not have lifeguards, and the weather's changed, even though it is false fall. The weather
Keep
did
coming
change.
back to that one.
So it was a good year. I can't complain.
All right, very good. Let's see. I got a couple of minutes yet still with you, Taylor.
Okay.
City Council, they taking up any business in the next month or two here?
Yeah, so we'll have another meeting this whatever that third Monday in September would be. I think it's the 15th. Yes, so the 15th. We'll have a couple of things. I hope to have that stencil pond agreement for them.
Yeah.
There's a couple other smaller agenda items. Is this your reminder to change the calendar?
It is.
We're not in
I might
August.
have done this last time you were in, if I remember right.
You might have.
Anyways, continue on.
Yeah, no problem. Just little stuff here and there. There's nothing. This is going to be, now that the craziness of outside work is kind of winding down. This is going to be a lot of time for me spending, strategizing, planning, working with council, and before we know it, we'll be in budget talks for next year already.
Yeah. What's to come project wise next year?
Plum and 150. So Plum Street and the intersection of 150. That's still in the works. There's some language I need to figure out on the back end as far as the railroad. So weird things happening there. I've had good conversations with, actually McLean County started this, but the Rails to Trails program, I guess the state of Illinois is interested in funding those agreements again. And so future, this is nothing official, or I'm not breaking any breaking news with the horn, like this isn't going to be breaking news, but it's just excited to have those conversations going.
Rails and Trails.
Yeah,
Cool.
we'll see
Nice.
what happens there. But
That'd be fun.
stretch it all the way from Bloomington Normal all the way to Mansfield, I think.
Nice.
So,
Where do folks go to learn about all things Farmer City, Taylor?
yeah, cityoffarmercity.org is our website, and then our Facebook page too.
That is Taylor Baxter, city manager for the city of Farmer City, our guest in studio here this morning. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Of course, we stream live online all the time at DeWittDailyNews.com. Network news comes your way next on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, along with